I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? There we go. What's good? It's the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie, and welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Okay. I'm going to start this show off. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Scream. Ah. What's good, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the preeminent, predominant, best Knicks morning show and the business. Glad y'all are here rocking with me early this morning. Get that energy up for another great day at whatever it is that you're doing. Whether you're at work or at play or at rest or whatever it is you're doing, I hope this show helps whatever it is that you are doing. Do it better. Just want to start off the show with a quote from the great American poet. I know I'm going to mess it up, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. Is that for me? Thank you. Thank you, Miss Mocha. You want to come on screen? No. Okay. Okay, so Miss Mocha don't want to come on screen. Okay, all right. All right. So, yeah, it's the Knicks Morning Drive. Get that energy up. Miss Mocha bought me some coffee. What is it that you have in your cup? What beverage are you enjoying this morning as you get your day started? So, I have Bustelo. And I'm going to sweeten it with a little bit of the non-sugar stevia. That's what it's called. Stevia. That's what it's called. So what are you enjoying this morning as you get ready to talk this talk the way that we like to have this Knicks talk to us? What are y'all drinking? Water, tea, lattes? Mocha lattes, regular coffee, Pepsi, lemon water. What is it that you're enjoying this morning as we get started? Let me shout out to my people. Shout out to my people. Andrew College is in the house. Miss Geraldine is in the house. Andre Walker is in the house. Walker, what's good? C-Mac is in the building. What's happening? What's good, y'all? Salute to everybody watching. King Ribby is in the building. Kenny Payne says, I'm coaching, of course. Uncle Free, what you think I'm doing? What you think I'm doing early this morning? All right, so I'm tripping. I'm tripping, right? I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm tripping off rip. I'm tripping. Oh, let me do the Great American. I didn't even do Blue Tears, Orange Tears, Blorange Tears, BIM. I didn't do that. And I also didn't do the quote by the great American poet Grand Puba. But Grand Puba says, so a lot of people think this is easy as it look. Books and books of rhyme concepts and hooks. Stressing and stressing to get thoughts manifested, blessing and blessing to get thoughts manifested, stressing and stressing to hit a world with a blessing. The hip hop legend Jay Boogie is in the building. Jay Boogie, what's good, boss man? What's good, boss? Jay Boogie, football time coming up, bro. I'm just saying. All right, so let me get. I've been itching to get to this point. I'm tripping, and I need y'all to help me this morning. Can somebody help me? I'm a friend asking a friend for help. Is there something wrong with that? I am a friend asking a friend for help. Is there something wrong with that? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be, right? I'm a friend asking a friend for help. Shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Shouldn't be. I'm trying to figure something out, and I want y'all to help me. Can y'all help me figure this out? My dilemma is I am warming up again to Evan Fournier. And I know that's the most random thought ever. I'm warming up to the thought of Evan Fournier being here and contributing. And I know, listen, and I understand he mad about some stuff. And quite honestly, I think I like that. I think I kind of like the fact that Evan Fournier is frustrated that he's not playing. Because I would be even more so uneven if we was cutting the check and he was like, nah, I'm injured. I have a soft tissue injury. And he just showing up in street clothes, collecting checks. Boulevard is in the house. What's good? What's good, Bully? I'm warming up to I'm warming up to this thing. Evan Fournier contributing this year to the Knicks. Now, am I warming up to him long term? No. But so I had like 1,000 conversations yesterday. And our people in Knicks universe say stuff like, once a Knick, always a Knick. But if Evan Fournier is here right now, how are we sour on him as fans? Do we not need 3-point shooting? Do we not need offensive playmaking? Do we not need somebody off the bench or starting? However, to contribute offensively? Could we not use those 15 points a game? My main man, Jay Boogie, the hip hop legend, says, good mornings, blessings, health, and happiness to you all. Flowers to you all. So beautiful to share life with my brothers and sisters. Thank God again with a capital G. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Health and happiness. In New York, we trust. I'm just asking for some help from somebody in the chat to help me out. Am I tripping? I have these conversations behind the scenes often, and usually I pay people no attention. They be talking, I be like, man, whatever, you ain't know, whatever. Like Rob the Nick will tell me some stuff sometimes, and I'll be like, Rob Nick, man, whatever, man, I ain't trying to, People will tell me some stuff behind the scenes. I'll be like, man, I ain't trying to get out of here. I ain't trying to hear that. But somebody said to me, once a Nick, always a Nick. Right? And if that's the case, how are we throwing Evan Fournier away? He's not even gone. He's here. Sherwood W is in the building. Good mornings, good mornings, good mornings. Sherwood says, good morning. We need team first players and not just stats. We are one player from becoming a contender. Fournier and RQ are luxuries. Turnbull is in the building. Good mornings. Good mornings. Good mornings. I disagree with you on both. I think Quickly is an integral part, and I think Fournier brings something. Fournier brings something. I'm not asking Tibbs to run an 11-man rotation or a 10-man rotation. I'm just asking for Evan Fournier to get a fair shot in training camp. Can we do that? Get a fair shot in training camp? A fair shot in training camp. And if he's like the 14th man, so let it be. Like the Beatles say, let it be. But if he brings something to the table, don't play politics. And I know in organizations, sometimes politics is a major part. Politics plays a major part. Sherman says Dante DiVincenzo can do the things we get from IQ 4 and will be less expensive long term. Nah, no, we don't. Dante DiVincenzo. I like Dante DiVincenzo too, by the way. I just think he's Quickly's backup. He's Quickly and Grimes and Brunson's backup. Dante DiVincenzo is the fourth guard. And I'm not going to inflate his value just because we signed him. If Dante DiVincenzo was that good, he'd had bigger and more and better offers from other teams. And for those that say, oh, he would have took a bunch of less money to come play with Jalen Brunson, yeah, no, that's not how things work. That's not how things work.
Hi, boss.
Good mornings. How you doing?
Just dealing with a little battle of the hiccups.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, man. I think I need your help. Would you mind helping me with something?
What's up?
I am warming up to Evan Fournier all of a sudden, just randomly.
I'm guessing DiVincenzo's not doing that well.
No, it's nothing to do with him. It's nothing to do with DiVincenzo. It's just the idea of giving Evan Fournier a fair shot in training camp and not play that politics favorites game. Just giving him a fair shot to see if he can get in the rotation. And listen, I know a lot of people like structure. They like stuff the same way every time because it's predictable and consistent. I get it. But in this case, what I'm asking is,
would it be okay to throw a little bit of anarchy into the mix?
Yeah, or just give him a shot. Just give him a chance. Kind of like how you gave us a chance, like how you showed up. You look, this ain't so bad. I think I can. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like how we gave you a shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, why not? Just give everybody a fair chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying with Fournier. Like, I understand they know what Fournier is by now because this will be his third season as a Knick. But can he get a fair shot in training camp to prove everybody wrong?
I mean, they should give him a chance. And I would like it they give him a chance, but something tells me they're probably not going to.
Okay. So you feel like he should at least get a shot coming into training camp, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got a case of the hiccups.
That's what I said when I came on. Let me get
yeah, I know. I heard you.
Get some water.
I heard you. So my thing is with Fournier and with others, you bring in all these other new faces, and I understand they'll get some chance in training camp to show something. But a veteran like Fournier, for the money he's being paid, I think he deserves at least an open competition for a limited amount of time, right? Even if you don't want to waste time on competition, can you just give Evan Fournier, say, 4 or 5 days of open competition at the 2-guard spot? And if he shows you the same or worse, then you tell Evan Fournier, this is your role with us.
I could see that. I mean, he needs the opportunity to play on the one hand, just to prove that his contract is not an albatross, like I said it was after the first year or so,
right?
Because of how bad he was. I mean, yeah, he could hit the three against select opponents and when applicable. The problem was he got too trigger happy with it. And last year, we seldom used him at all because Tibbs saw the flaw and just decided to stick him on the bench in solitary confinement.
Right. Was it fair? Possibly. Right? Possibly.
Was it justified? Yes, but is it fair? Some people would say no.
Right. Yeah, my thing is with the Fournier, I'll give you an example. And I hate to do revisionist history, but we're sports fans.
Sure.
And that's what sports fans do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And in hindsight, if Josh Hart was on the if Evan Fournier was on the floor and not Josh Hart in that last 20 seconds of the Miami Heat series, I think Evan Fournier gets an open look at a 3-pointer.
And gets the Knicks a 1-point lead that the Heat could actually turn out and would be still lose, but it would be a closer loss than what we got, right?
Right. Or we win, and there's a Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. So it could go any myriad of ways. It's an undetermined outcome at that point. When it comes to the possibilities, you don't know, what outcome what would be a definite outcome. Because if Evan Fournier is in the game, he could miss, right?
And given how much rust he would have had on him by that point, he probably would have missed.
Yeah. Or if he hits that shot to force a game 7, we're talking about the Evan Fournier narrative is totally different. Now we're talking about him like a hero.
Instead of him talking of him like a goat. And I don't mean greatest of all time. I mean the bad kind of goat, the scapegoat.
Right. Yeah. And Jason says, or the Heat pick on him on defense, and we were no, that's not what I'm saying. Jay, no, I'm not talking about all series. I'm talking about in that one moment when we needed a bucket. In that 20 seconds. I'm not talking about Evan Fournier getting reps. And he probably should have, with Emmanuel quickly out for game 6.
He should have gotten them.
Yeah. Why are you playing 8 dudes?
And it bugged me that Tibbs was basically wanting to play himself and let the team play at that kind of a handicap. That's not smart. That's reckless.
Right.
I mean, you can be reckless and smart, but you have to be more smart than reckless in that situation.
Right. And reckless, I think you're suggesting like maybe calculated gambles, calculated risk, and not just be, I feel you. I feel you on that. Right. I feel you on that. Like sometimes you have to take a risk.
I mean, guts may win titles as well as defense, but you also need brains and logic to complement them.
Right.
And in that situation, Tibbs had no brains and there was no logic to playing 8 guys.
Yeah. And so Sherwin says trade IQ 48 Hartenstein, 3 protected picks first for Brandon Ingram. I'm all in. I will do IQ 48 and 2 firsts for Trey Murphy. Put that offer to New Orleans on the table and see if it bites. Okay.
I'd rather not trade any more draft capital.
Yeah, I'd rather keep draft capital also.
Especially when you consider how far out of his way in being a spendthrift with it Leon Rhodes has proven to be.
Right.
These popes and clerks who never bother squint in mind at spending in life. And by contrast, in popes and cardinals, greed was practiced in excess.
Bem.
Know what I mean?
I'm with Mets on this one. I'm with Mets on this one, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But Dre says there will be no lane for Evan now. Now that we have DiVincenzo, he is trade filler. I understand.
I think he means trade fodder, not filler.
Both. Either. You know what I'm saying?
I just prefer fodder over filler.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hey. So what I'll say to the DiVincenzo thing is of course DiVincenzo was brought here to play a role. Right? He was brought here to play a role. But what I'm saying is over the course of an 82-game season, don't have this dude on mothballs, bro, when you know you need 3-point shooting. When you know you need it. To me, it makes no sense. Especially when the Knicks go 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, even 6 minutes without a bucket. And you know Fournier is a bucket.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they did the same thing to Derrick Rose, but to be fair, he was a glass cannon at that point, so I didn't have an issue with that. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, Will Turnbull says, Tibbs' lack of adjustments were maddening when Coach Spo was changing it up constantly on us. Exactly.
And people wonder why I kept calling him a Tin Man.
And
Briefly,
Ivory says DiVincenzo is likely, Div is likely to sit the bench a lot. Ooh, huh? What? I don't understand that one, Ivory. Yeah, Ivory, I don't understand
I
that one,
think
man.
he
You gotta.
means that if DiVincenzo screws up badly, Tibbs is just going to leave him on the bench to rust. But then again, that's been somewhat of Tommy Boy's modus operandi. Operate under his system, play well under his system, you're fine. But mess up, you're on the bench and left to rust.
Right.
And this is another fair point. Tibbs has been known to sacrifice offense to capitalize on defense. That's the kind of guy he is.
Right.
Personally,
Okay.
I would prefer a coach that compromises on doing both equally, not sacrificing one for the other. It would be the same thing if Tibbs did it the other way around, sacrifice defense to capitalize on offense.
It's fair to question. It's fair to question, right? So Kev Middleton says all I hear is that the Raptors are better than the Knicks, and they have a rising star, but they don't make the playoffs. I get it. I get it.
Well, then again, when you consider how many egos are on the Raptors, they got hit with injuries a good bit of the past year, right?
Okay.
Right?
I would say this. I understand who Tibbs is as a coach. And he wants to win every game. He treats every game like a game 7. I get it. What I'm going to ask Tom Thibodeau to do, however, is sacrifice a little in the short term for a lot in the long term. Right? And so what I mean by that is
stop treating every game like a game 7 and treat it more like a game 1.
Yeah. Oh, for him, he won't be that drastic. For you and I think you and I can handle that. But for Tom Thibodeau, we'll have to tell him, hey, don't treat it like a game 7. Treat it like a game 6. Right? and then that way we get a little concession. You know what I'm saying? Like a little compromise, and then we can work on a more concession as we go along. But if you say Tibbs treat it like a game 1, no, because he treats regular season games like game 7. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Ivory says, though, no, things ain't sacrificed. Oh, I think he meant to say Tibbs. No, Tibbs ain't sacrificing anything. It's all about today for him. Right. And I know people like that, man. I know people like that absolutely live for today. That's their modus operandi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know why we say why we say MO or modus operandi when nobody speaks Latin as a dead language. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Ivory 10 follows up with Tibbs ain't sacrificed. Oh, he said that already. Okay, all right. So my thing with Fournier is, honestly, I don't think he can win a job. But I think if you give him a chance, it shows the rest of the league that you put forth a good faith effort to allow that man to prove himself. And if he doesn't, then there is no more conversation. Right? But if you don't give him the chance, there's always that murmuring behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Andre Walker makes another fine point. Quote, Tibbs has to be more flexible and not lose track of his team's talents. Different players have different skill sets. Learn to adapt. And that's the thing we've always gotten on his case for. He's inadaptable. Or he just flat out refuses to adapt.
Right. And I think in his mind, he's adapting in his own way. But we just don't see enough progress. We don't see enough progress to even measure.
Or he doesn't tell us where the progress is to show it.
Yeah. That's like, I used to have a good. She was like, "Yo, it's raining over. It's raining on the other side of the town. I'm like, so it ain't raining over here. You know what I'm saying? That's what Tibbs is in my mind. Like, it's raining on the other side of town. I mean, I can't see it. It don't affect us over here. You know, so he could tell us that and expect us to have faith in it, but nah, no, Tibbs. I need to actually see the adjustments that you make and be able to measure and follow them.
Yeah, beat into his skull. You have to show. You don't tell.
Right.
I mean, sports, as in life, is all about showing people. You don't tell them.
Right. And Pudge, and Pudge says, y'all gotta watch the playoffs again. Yeah, I watched the playoffs. I know that there was some adjustments made, right? But this is not the type of adjustments we're talking about. You're talking about strategic adjustments, just minor tweaks to a steady game plan. And what I'm telling you is that Tibbs needs to make major adjustments when his major game plan doesn't work. Right? Because I know what you're saying. I know what Pudge is alluding to, right? Mm-hmm. Pudge is alluding to instead of having RJ on Butler, he switched Grimes onto Butler and slowed Butler down. I remember that. Right? He also had we've been saying
for years.
Yeah, no doubt. He made adjustments in the playoffs, but these were not. It was just like when I used the girlfriend talking about it's raining on the other side of town analogy. It was so small and insignificant. You're like, what's the point? What are we talking about? And Will Turnbull says, I think a player like Tobias Harris would be a good player to put in the third option spot. We need more defined roles this season to keep ascending. I like Tobias Harris. I like Tobias Harris a lot, man.
But there's no way Philadelphia's giving up Toby.
Right. And if you're the Knicks, what do you offer for Tobias Harris?
Whatever it is, it's going to be an arm and a leg, and I'm not giving that up just to get Toby.
Yeah, and he's on the last year of his contract.
So wait until free agency to try to snatch him?
I'm not
if
sure.
If he chooses to go into free agency.
I'm not sure. What I would do is just keep my options open. I wouldn't just target him, but I would just keep my options open just in case. You never know. You never know. You never know, because I'll give you an example. Free Keith and myself started writing a comic book series, right? And it's just little stuff. I know everybody ain't into it, but so we're doing like a comic book thing, and I had this character in mind to be the main guy. Free Keith and I talked, and all of a sudden, instead of me just thinking about this one guy, you know what I'm saying, we discussed a universe of guys and kept our options open. And that's the kind of approach I would take to free agency. Just keeping all of your options open. Anything is possible. You never know what happens if instead of looking for one thing, you just keep your eye out for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Walker says Tobias Harris has a year left free agency. Yep. And he says Tibbs kept his job last year for making adjustments. Yep. He made a major adjustment defensively. I mentioned that several times. The early part of December, he went from the ice pick and roll to a scrape and peel type defense, where if you were screened, you just relocated to the closest open man. And then if you had the opportunity, then you would go back to a matchup that best fits you. I think that adjustment there made the defense a lot better.
Still going to hate this round robin tournament when it happens in November.
For what reason?
It basically minimizes the prestige. Takes the prestige off winning the Larry O'Brien, and basically gives those good teams who fail to win the postseason every year a cheap, flimsy knockoff to hang their hats on. And for the good teams, and for the bad teams, it just gives them an excuse to win, to play for something, but not everything.
Okay.
Know what I mean?
Right. No, I know what you mean by that. I'll say this to that part, man. Some of these games we go to in November and December, things of that sort, some of them are so insignificant. There's like, for instance, there's gonna come a time when the Washington Wizards visit the Charlotte Hornets. Who's gonna go see that?
A lot of people.
Right. But if they're playing for something, though, if they're playing for the NBA Cup, then there'll be some intrigue there. You know what I mean? If you're a Charlotte fan, yeah.
Which I'm very seldom am.
Juan B is in the building. He says, respect, respect, respect. Just like the playing tournament, people didn't like the sound of it now. It's a major factor in playoff seeding. Money talks is going to be huge for the league. New era.
Still say it also alienates the casuals and the diehards.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's definitely an original point of view. And my thing is, man, when January gets here, bro, who really wants to see the Knicks versus San Antonio? It's one of those things where you're like, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth watching. Trini, what's good, Trini?
Is he in the Knicks don't need an OG Tobias or a Tobias Harris type of player.
I don't know what they need at the moment. Jet Life for Life is in the building. Paris Duggar is in the building. Paris Duggar says, me. Paris Duggar is interested in that San Antonio at New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. I am absolutely not.
Neither am I. Depending on what Victor looked like it might be a TNT game, probably just off the two teams, Knicks and Spurs. 1B says that.
Yeah, I don't care.
When he says Victor, he means Oladipo.
No, Victor Wembanyama.
Spurs
number
rookie?
one pick. What is that?
The Spurs top draft pick from this past.
Yep. I honestly, I don't care. It's like watching. To me, it's like watching Paolo Banchero. Do I want to see him in an insignificant game? No. Do I want to see Anthony Edwards in an insignificant game?
Nope.
I don't know. Do I want to see Cade Cunningham in an insignificant? It's all these dudes that's the number one pick, bro. I don't care because they got the number one pick for a reason, and that's because their team is trash.
That and the fact that they were lucky that the Pistons didn't get the top pick.
Yeah.
Because when you looked at how it was set up by the mathematical tiebreakers, the Spurs would have actually been the two pick.
Right.
Like between them, the Rockets, and the Hornets.
Right. Salute to the son of the legend. The Kerry Cox is in the building. Yeah, man.
I wonder how the baseball season is going to reflect on the basketball one. I mean, when you look at it from that angle, Mets and Yankees this year, they suck.
The Yankees definitely suck.
I mean, the Mets are far worse. I'm not going to lie.
Right. It's all right. It's all right, man. The Mets will be back, man.
I just wish that they didn't try to butter up to Shohei all that much this year. In my opinion, that cost them in the long run.
Yeah. I think they had that pivot in place. Prophet Knicks TV is in the building. Good mornings. And Cheryl says, who cares about baseball? Yeah, I know. I get it. I would. Hey, but my Fournier thing though, I think I still need help with it, man. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the Evan Fournier thing. Like, am I a fan of him staying around, or am I a fan of us getting what we can for him? At this point, I'm not sure. Excuse
I'm
me,
more,
I'm not sure. But if he's going to be here, at least give him a shot, man.
yeah, I'm
That
more,
just makes sense to me.
yeah, I'm at this point that middle ground. Give him a shot, and if he screws up, then you throw him out.
Right, right. Yeah, man. I'm just, yeah. It just makes that just, yeah. So you have any idea on? You have any idea about who you think might be missing from the rotation?
Nope. Drawing a couple of blanks at the moment. I mean, we got rid of Obi, and what do we get out of that?
Nothing. CWC says we need Fournier for the money to work. Y'all are assuming that the Knicks are going to make a trade. I don't think they will. But Ivory says they may as well ask Fournier to stay in Europe. He's not going to get time, and the only way we trade him is in a larger package for a star. What I'm going to say is that the Knicks are not pulling off man, look.
I mean, if they do pull a trade, I can think of the worst case scenario. For who they could get. They trade Fournier to Charlotte to get Ntilikina back. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we need him back. That guy was a disaster of a pick by Jackson.
Right. Right. What I'm gonna say to you is this.
I go.
What I'm gonna say to you is I don't think the trade at the honestly, everybody. Honestly, I don't think the Knicks need a trade. I want the Knicks to pull off a trade, but because I want to eliminate all the possible catastrophes, right? But I don't think they need a trade to be a great NBA team. I think the team right now, as it stands, can be a contender. The only thing about it is all of us have a fear factor. And you know what that fear factor is. The fear factor is we get somewhere, we have expectations, we don't meet them, and then we get embarrassed by not meeting them. I think that's everyone's fear. Anthony D is in the house. And so I think that scares everyone in this thing where we feel like we need a trade to insulate ourselves against big moment failure. If I could put it in terms of that. Big moment failure is what we all fear. So in order to insulate ourselves from big moment failure, we say if we go out and get a secret weapon, when that big moment failure comes, we can whip out the secret weapon and we'll be okay. Sherwin says, we need to make a trade for a real small forward. We are not a contender as constructed. Sherwin, I think you're wrong on that one too. I think you might be wrong on that one. And Sherwin and I are usually right on a lot of stuff. I think Sherwin and I are generally we are generally agreeable on about 85, 87% of the stuff, at least in my mind. For him, it may be a lesser number, but for me, I like a lot of the stuff that Sherwin says, right? Keith Turner is in the building. And Paris Uncle says Jalen is recruiting now. Probably. So, Keith Turner, let me explain to you why the Knicks are contenders. I'll explain to you why I think the Knicks are contenders. I'll start with the obvious. Man, I'm looking at this shirt that I have. This has got to be the ugliest shirt in my closet, man. Is this not the ugliest shirt that y'all see me put on? And NBIC also says the same. Like, we are not contenders with this roster. We will be injury prone this upcoming season. I don't want to predict injuries, but what I will say is not so fast. Slow down. Not so fast. The Knicks are going to be contenders and maybe the best team potentially. Sherwin, I saw you. That wasn't funny. Sherwin, I saw you. That was not funny, Sherwin. The Knicks are going to be contenders for about 7 or 8 different reasons. And I'll name about 3 of them so that it won't seem like overkill. Reason number 1, Josh Hart. Right? Josh Hart. Oh, Bully got, I see Bully got jokes. Bully was like, where you was at? Hawaii? Bully thought that. Bully, you think that's funny, ain't it? Bully think that's funny. Bully, you think that's funny, ain't it? He's like, yo, where you was at? Hawaii? and then Turnbull out here co-signing. Turnbull out here co-signing like, yeah, get him, Bully. Get him, Bully. So here are a few reasons why the Knicks might be the best team in the Eastern Conference. Again, when I say this, I already know what y'all gonna say. Uncle Freezie lost it. Uncle Freezie just be saying stuff. You know, he be going back and forth and all these things. And I'll be like, I keep that mental note. And then when it happened, I read y'all comments. Right? I read y'all comments, right? Y'all comments be like, I told Uncle Freezie he was gonna win 60 games. Nah, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Miss Yodine says, hey, don't set yourself up for a disappointment. Nah, I got you. I got you, Miss Yodine. Trust me, I got you. I got you. Here are the reasons. If you believe that Josh Hart was impactful on his arrival late in the season, then you believe that Josh Hart will be at least the same impact or greater with a full training camp and off-season with the Knicks through an 82-game schedule. Now, if you say Josh Hart was not that, if you say that is false, then I'm going to come at you with the Josh Hart didn't make a difference for this team. That's number 1. Josh Hart. Josh Hart's impact late in the season after the trade deadline, if you are in that group that says Josh Hart is one of the main reasons why this team was good down the stretch and including the playoffs, right? And then you say Josh Hart is not going to be the same player or better with a full offseason in Team USA camp with Jalen Brunson, a training camp through the 82-game schedule, then I'm gonna point at you like you're a hypocrite. Because you just can't have the narrative any way you want it. Right? You just can't twist the narrative any way you want it. 2, the minutes that we gave Miles McBride and he couldn't get over the edge or make the team better, those little sprinkling of minutes, Dante DiVincenzo is going to eat those up and more. Dante DiVincenzo is going to be on the floor. So now when Jalen Brunson is in foul trouble and Emmanuel Quickly or Grimes is hurt, you're not out here with the backcourt of Grimes and RJ. Now you have a legit professional guard, and no shade on Miles McBride because we like him. We like Deuce McBride. But last season, he couldn't quite get us over the hump. Maybe he can this year. Who knows? But last year, Deuce McBride couldn't get us over the hump. All right, point number 3. If you thought Jalen Brunson was good last year in his first season as the Knicks full-time point guard, imagine what Jalen Brunson is going to be with a full offseason of training, with the reps at Team USA, a full training camp, through an 82-game season, and help from Emmanuel Quickly and Dante DiVincenzo. And Keith Turner says you messed up when you brought up RJ and Grimes. That killed it right there. Exactly. If you were down on that combination last year, the mere fact that I said Dante DiVincenzo's name makes you happy. So we got Josh Hart full training camp. We have Dante DiVincenzo being a veteran guard off the bench, helping Brunson and Quickly and Grimes and Hart. Third, we have a full year, another full season of Jalen Brunson, full training camp, Team USA, all these things to help Jalen Brunson become a better player in year 2 as the Knicks point guard. Reason number 4. Reason number 4, and I know I said 7 and I was going to quit at 3, right? Reason number 4, no more trying to wedge Obi Toppin into a team he didn't fit in. He was Leon Rose's first pick. He sucked. He got traded. We moving on. Now, we're not trying to shoehorn Obi Toppin into a place where he don't fit. Obi Toppin was the Evan Fournier of the power forward position for us. Right? No, and listen, I'm not shading him as a person. He didn't fit. He got to go. Bye. Have a great career in Indiana. Now with us not having to shoehorn guys into situations, I think you'll see a more fluid and organic situation. As Sincere says, Obi didn't suck, he just didn't fit. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. He didn't fit with us. His situation sucked. He sucked to me. That's what I'm saying. Good luck with the rest of his career. All of that, you know. Blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. What happens in Indianapolis stays in Indianapolis, as far as I'm concerned. Now we don't have to shoehorn Obi into situations. No more of the politics. No more that was Leon Rose's guy and all this stuff and all that stuff, and it ain't fair. Obi should be getting more minutes, and Randall this and Obi that. All that stuff is over with now. All that stuff is over with. Now we can focus on basketball. And reason number 5, and I know this is going to sound crazy, with Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, Jalen Brunson, Tom Thibodeau gets the flexibility to run a lot of different offensive lineups. And we didn't get the chance to do that, especially 2 years ago, especially 3 years ago. Trini says, we got rid of most of the misfits like Frank and Knox and Obi. Now it's only RJ if he don't get his act together. I'm glad you brought up RJ. I'm glad you brought up RJ. Yo, Ivory 10 read my mind. So last night I said on the Knicks at Night podcast, make sure y'all check it out. This week we doing it at 9:30. Just trying to give it a shot. Just trying to give it a shot at 9:30 to see if it worked. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not used to it. But for the sake of, and listen. Ivory 10, hey, Ivory 10, let me make you laugh. I got my license. So I got my license. I took all the stuff, the certain blah blah blah, boom boom boom. I ain't gonna kill you with the minutia. But I got license and certification. Some of that stuff I had been studying for that was throwing my schedule off. So I got a license. I got my license and certifications and stuff. So I'll be official tissue. I just got some other things lined up that I'm hoping to complete before the end of the year. And I'll be that dude. I'll be that guy. Hopefully by January or February, I'll be walking around like I'm Worldwide West. Expensive suits and business cards and stuff. So that's why the reason why I'm good. I had planned on doing a super long show today, like till like 1:00, but I actually got to do some stuff. I have to realign some stuff. So I'm gonna do a short show today. I mean this morning, probably do a longer show tonight, right? Now, Kerry Cox, it's not that. It's I don't want to get into it, but think brokerage firms. Think that like brokerage firms, things like that. So yeah, just think finance instead of real estate. I just can't do I just can't I can't wait that long to get paid. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's lucrative. I understand it's lucrative, but I can't depend on markets for just that. So so I'm adding stuff. I'm adding stuff to like, And when we get a chance, I'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Probably in one of our private group chats or on telephone call or behind the scenes or something. I'll talk about it then. I just try to keep Uncle Freezie in one place and the other guy personal stuff in the other place. Y'all know what it is when it comes to privacy and stuff. Right? And the reason why and chat, the reason why I do that, and I know that sounds disrespectful, but what happened to some of us and some others is like cats start showing up on our personal Facebook pages and stuff, trolling. Like, like Knicks fans show up on your personal Facebook page, like, yo, your daughter look good. Yeah, that's a little bit too creepy for me, right? Like people showing up on your Facebook page, like, I see your house. That's a big house. Just creepy stuff, bro. I ain't up for all of that, man. We'll talk Knicks, and then a few of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? The closer we get, the more I'll share. Like the more you share with me, I'll share with y'all. Y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. That's what. Yep. So I'm working. Definitely that. Cox, definitely that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got to finish those. Some Series 99, some I'm working on some agent management stuff. Yo, I'm getting tired of being any of y'all work in the bullpen in cubicles. Anybody that work in sales and cubicles and all that, anybody in the sales, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like you get tired of cold calling, you get tired of conference stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you get tired of unreasonable sales expectations, and you get tired of prospectuses of stuff that's frustrating, and they they force you to get out and do just so they can talk to their boss about blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that, and I got, as a matter of fact, I got deeper than I wanted to in that. But the reason why I don't share that much is because people will be showing up on your Facebook page, like, man, is that your mom right there? She look young. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And y'all can imagine what it'd be like if it was y'all. Like if something like say for instance, Anthony D is on his Instagram account and somebody was like, bro, is that your sister right there? She's single? Something weird out the way just make you want to. You know what I'm saying? Miss Geraldine, hey, thank you, Miss Geraldine. Hey, and listen, how's your bowling going? How's the bowling going? CWC says my twin coming out tonight. Yeah, I okay. Yeah, man. So, but anyways, here's the thing I want to just touch on briefly about RJ Barrett. I'm going to say this, and it's going to turn over the apple cart, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think Tom Thibodeau has miscast RJ Barrett. When I look around the league, at at athleticism, while RJ Barrett is not an elite athlete, when I look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's not a better athlete than RJ Barrett. When I look at Luka Doncic, he is definitely not a better athlete than RJ Barrett. When I look at a lot of these guys around the league, bro, RJ Barrett to me is about somewhere from average to below average athletically. Okay. Miss Jared, it's the off season for y'all. Okay. It's the off season. Good luck with your season. I hope y'all win every match. And I'm for real about that. I used to try to bowl, but the big guys always have a mindset that you have to throw a bowling ball as hard as you can. Right? And even though it's the same thing when I shoot pool. Like when I shoot pool, I legit have to relax and understand that you don't have to ram the ball in the pocket. All you need is for the ball to go in the pocket. Keith Turner says, you ain't comparing RJ to them guys. Come on. Right, Keith Turner. This is why y'all say that I flip-flop, right? What I just said, the comparison I just made is not a comparison of their games. I compared them athletically. This is where the conversation fall down and people be like, yo, Uncle Freezie, you said such and such. No, I didn't. I compared SGA's athleticism to RJ Barrett's athleticism. And I compared Luka Doncic's athleticism to RJ Barrett's athleticism. Right? And he's trying to find a way for. Yeah, no. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm merely talking about athleticism right here. Athleticism in this moment. Those guys are not more athletic than RJ Barrett. I'm sorry. If people think that RJ Barrett is the worst athlete ever, no. And Sincere says, Luka has a bag. Indeed. Luka is probably the most skilled player in the NBA. I'm not taking that away from him. Right now, I'm speaking about athleticism. At this moment, athleticism. Sherwin, you beat me to it. I was just about to bring up Jimmy Butler. I wasn't going to bring up Kawhi, but I'm glad you said it. What I'm saying to you is I think RJ Barrett is miscast in Tom Thibodeau's system. For instance, I don't think Reggie Bullock was more athletic than RJ Barrett. Right? I don't think Wayne Ellington was more athletic than RJ Barrett. That's my opinion. Now, there are some elite athletes in this league that don't have nearly the skill as RJ, i.e. Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. is an elite athlete, right? Does he have the skill of an RJ Barrett? No. right? No, he does not. Give you another example. Kenyon Martin Jr., a very good athlete. Does he have the skill of an R.J. Barrett? No. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What I'm saying to you is Tom Thibodeau needs a kamikaze pilot in his offense, and he's forcing RJ to do it. Most times you see RJ Barrett on offense, Tibbs is trying to get him to go to the rim. Right, right. Keith Turner, I'm with you. I'm with you on it. I'm building a point though. Turner, I'm building a point though. You know what I'm saying? Because I agree with you on that. I'm with you on this one. This point makes all the sense in the world to me. Right? Athleticism means nothing if you don't have skills. Trust me, I know. We just traded away a power forward that was athletic. We just traded away an athletic power forward. What I'm saying to y'all is Tom Thibodeau from day one stopped RJ Barrett from dribbling, creating, and turned him into Chris Morris without hops. That's what RJ Barrett is right now. Anybody in here remember Chris Morris? Oh, I got one better. Tom Thibodeau turned RJ Barrett into Cedric Ceballos without jumping ability. That's what he turned him into. All you do is go to the rim and try to finish over people. That's your job. That's what our offense needs. Go to the rim relentlessly. Forget about man, listen. Hey, Turner, Anthony D, I'm gonna ask y'all straight up, bro. Let me read this first from Middleton. I agree 100%. It matters who drafts you, and it matters who the coach and the system you play in. Anthony Edwards will get same backlash if you watch his flaws every game. Yep. What I'm gonna say to you is this. If RJ Barrett was allowed to post up smaller guards and forwards, if RJ Barrett was allowed to catch the ball on the run towards the rim, if RJ Barrett was allowed to shoot shots from the mid-range, if RJ Barrett was allowed to go down low and bang, you'd see a different player. If RJ Barrett was allowed to play make off a pin down, off of horns, off of floppy, and y'all saw floppy, and listen, we call these basketball terms, but listen, if you watch the USA versus Puerto Rico, the offense Puerto Rico was running over and over and over and over was floppy. Anthony D agrees with me. He says, allowed, are you nuts? Yeah, Anthony D agrees with me. Anthony D agrees with me. Again, Anthony D always just, for some reason, we're like-minded. Anytime I say something, Anthony D agrees. It's like we're kindred spirits. But Tom Thibodeau doesn't, if you notice, the only person in our offense, or the only two people, in our offense that doesn't go to the rim, Randall and Grimes. Every other player is probing the paint, 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 probing the paint. Tom Thibodeau has turned R.J. Barrett. He's turned R.J. Barrett from. I'm gonna say. Ooh,
Sorry, I'm not going to be on much longer. I'm going to have to hop off soon to go to the bowling alley.
Okay. So Tom Thibodeau turned R.J. Barrett from a player that could have been Glenn Robinson, like a smaller version of Glenn Robinson, Chris Middleton, into Cedric Ceballos with no hops.
Ouch.
Right. And here's the thing. When you watch R.J. Barrett's game, all the midi stuff, right? All the midi stuff. And Kerry Cox, I'm with you. It's because Tibbs won't allow him to pull up. Right? The deal with RJ is if allowed to play an organic game, if RJ Barrett was, for instance, when we played Atlanta and RJ had Trae Young pinned down, they kicked the ball back out to Randall at the top of the key for three. What are we doing?
Almost every time.
What are we doing? What are we doing right here? You had the other team's best player pinned in the post. You could punish him and maybe even draw a foul on him, but instead we kicking it out to the perimeter for three.
To a guy who's injured and overtaxed.
Right. And in that same game, DeJounte Murray, a smaller version, a smaller guard, 6'3", 200, maybe 190, got to the free throw line, was hitting that free throw line shot all night long. All night. All night long on us. That's all I got. I got to get out of here. Mets, it's been real. Chat, it's been real. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Knicks at Night podcast soon come, 9:30 p.m. I'm going to say sharp. I'm hoping sharp. Just got to finish up, wrap up some stuff today. Anthony D, you ain't even say congratulations. I appreciate you, Anthony D. Congratulations, Anthony D. Peace, y'all.